Hello and welcome to the fifth film in our Walls series, in which we look at the other requirements made of exterior load-bearing walls. This photo appeared in our first series of films, in which we established that a construction space always has a dimension. The thickness of the wall surrounding the windows or the window reveal in this image shows that exterior walls are generally thinner than interior walls. You will need to remember that the requirements for exterior walls are significantly higher than those for interior walls. An exterior wall has to provide protection against bad weather. Here in Germany, we tend to associate bad weather with cold, wind and rain. After the hotter summers we have experienced in recent years, however, it's clear that it's also necessary to provide protection against extreme heat and direct sunlight. Overhangs above windows, here the projecting slabs, reduce direct sunlight and thus help keep indoor temperatures bearable in summer. This is known as solar protection. Our exterior temperatures are generally cold in winter, and so we heat the inside of our buildings to produce interior temperatures warm enough to live and work in. Unfortunately, much of this interior heat is lost through the building shell. It's transmitted via the exterior walls, passes through leaky areas such as the cracks around doors, or is lost through windows during ventilation. So, exterior walls need to provide thermal insulation. That is, they must minimize transmission losses caused by heat transfer through the walls, infiltration or uncontrolled air leakage, and natural ventilation. As a general rule, buildings are expected to stand and be used for several decades. This means that their exterior walls must be durable and resistant to environmental influences. This photograph of Dresden's reconstructed Frauenkirche, Church of Our Lady, shows the damage these influences can cause. The dark patches you can see are stones from the original building. The light-colored stones are cut from newly quarried sandstone. Substances contained in the air and in precipitation can attack stone, changing both its surface and its structure by means of a chemical reaction. In this case, these environmental factors have caused the stone to darken. But environmental influences are not limited to aggressive air and acid rain. Significant fluctuations in temperature over the course of a day are sufficient to cause construction problems. Building materials expand and contract according to the ambient temperature. This process can be severe enough to destroy the structure of a building material and cause cracks through which water can then penetrate. Our little motor museum in Zwickau, which you can see here, consists of a concrete shell with interior thermal insulation. Here, special reinforced concrete with a surface coating prevents cracks caused by temperature variations. The parts of a building that come into contact with the surface of the ground beneath it form a critical interface. It harbors a range of negative environmental influences that can adversely affect the strength and durability of a building. At this interface, anything on the road, pavement, or green areas comes into contact with the building. Here you can see the base of the building in the form of a plinth made of a natural stone known as Rochlitz porphyry, the material we use to build our church in Leipzig. This type of stone is vulnerable to frost and road salt. Frost causes the pores in the stone to burst. Road salt breaks up the structure of the stone. It's for this reason that we used the more resistant Beuscher granite rather than the Rochlitz porphyry for the plinth on which the Leipzig Provost Church rests. This image also illustrates the fact that the need for a wall to be beautiful is particularly important in the case of exterior walls. This is because building facades set the tone of our town and cityscapes. In its initial uncompleted state, this wall, which contains no openings, had a raw concrete finish. Reviled as a bunker by the German tabloid newspaper Bild-Zeitung, it generated an unprecedented number of critical emails. Since it has been clad in stone, however, public perceptions have changed. Summary. The requirements for exterior walls are significantly higher than those for interior walls. Exterior walls need to be durable and resistant to environmental influences. It's also important to minimize the transmission of interior heat as much as possible. why not go on to take a look at the sixth and final film in our walls series? It deals with the surface treatments that can be used on masonry walls.